What's up, y'all? And welcome to Sound Advice. And in this edition of Sound Advice, I want to give you a overview of what an EQ does, the purpose for the EQ. This is just to give you that idea of what EQ does, how we're supposed to kind of use it, and this video is just going to break down uh, that, and it's just to give you an overall view. I'm going to have other videos that we're going to actually get down and dirty and dissect what EQ is, what's the purpose for it, um, in ways you want to try to use it. We're going to get all into that. But this video is just to let you have an understanding of the purpose of the EQ. So this is a whole series of that I entitled EQing with a Purpose. So this is the start of that series, and we're just going to get an overview of what an EQ does. So if you like what you're hearing right now and you want to go further, please stay tuned as we get into the overall view of what an EQ is all about. So let's, without further ado, let's jump into my DAW and let's see uh, of the whole overview of EQing.
Now, in this part of EQing with a purpose and getting an understanding of EQ, what I've done is I put, come on up. Okay. What I've done is I put um, my Renaissance EQ on the mix bus. I do not put things on my insert on my mains, okay, on my main out. I do some post processing on my main outs, but I do not put any inserts on my main outs. But for this purpose, to give you an idea of what EQ does, I put the EQ on the main insert to give you an overall listening experience of what this EQ is doing. So I want to remind you that please wear headphones or listen to this on studio monitors. If you're listening on headbuds or any kind of cheap headphones or a laptop speaker or a phone speaker, you're not really going to hear exactly what's going on. So please listen to this example on some good studio headphones or some good studio monitors to get the best result from this example. So first I'm going to play, and what I'm going to do is play it in and out so that you can hear what the EQ is actually doing to the entire project. Okay. So I'm going to bypass and unbypass so that you can hear it. So what I would like for you to do, because I really don't want you to see me bypassing and not bypassing, bypassing and then taking the bypass off. So what I would like for you to do is, once the music start playing, close your eyes and listen to what these EQ curves that I've done, to hear what they're doing. So please just close your eyes and listen with your ears, and don't pay attention to me bypassing in and out, because you're looking right at me doing it. So close your eyes, and I'm going to play the mix, and you listen for the difference. Okay. So, and then we'll talk about it. So let's play some of the song, and as you have your eyes closed.
You can hear him saying, woman, you can put that righteous mess on hold, 'cause I can stand up on my own. You can hear her pleading, Dan, now I was only trying to help, so you can go to hell. Put love in a bag of dope in your grocery cart, and any universe should still have given him her heart. They were always meant to be, and that's the truth.
Okay, open your eyes. Now, what you should have heard was a build up in the mid range. A lot of build up in that mid range. So, if you didn't hear that, go ahead, rewind it back and listen to it again as many times as you need to, because you gotta get EQ wrapped around your head. Okay, we gotta get EQ wrapped around your head. So if you need to go back and listen again, close your eyes, listen again, do that. But you should hear a build up in the mid range when the EQ was not engaged, and then when I engaged it, the build up went away, and you can see that with these EQ curves that I made, because I chose to attenuate or cut some of these frequencies out to be able to hear, to get some clarity into the mix. So with the full mix, I did do like a little bump at 3 kilohertz per se, so that I could get a little bit of the definition out of the guitars and the vocals. Okay. And then, but the rest, at 1 kilohertz, I cut that at 639 hertz. I went on ahead and cut that at 249. I cut that. Okay. And then I gave a bump of a shelf bump at 4.5 decibels, and I did the bump at 8K, okay, 8 kilohertz. And then on the very low end, I just took out some of the rumble at 25 hertz. I did a shelf at 25 hertz. So this was the EQ move that I made to be able to do what with the EQ? Clear up the signal. Okay. And like I said, this is a transparent EQ. What goes in comes out. There's no changing of anything of the recording. Okay. Of the signal, of the recorded signal. So rewind it, listen to it again. And if you got to, listen to it again and listen to it again and listen to it again, so that you can wrap your mind around what EQ does and the benefits that it can have in your project. Now, I didn't do individual instruments, but I wanted to show you on an overall, with the whole context of the mix, because we're going to get into individuals, but I want to show you a context and examples and some of the definitions that I've been explaining to you, and give you an example of a mix being cleared up with using EQ. Okay. So rewind, listen, and hear what's being done. Now, did I make the best judgment moves or anything like that? No, but I did make some moves that could clear up the mix. Okay. So In my opinion, if you ask me, I say that EQ is the most important. It's the most important that technique that you can use for instruments, for vocals, for the whole mix, for sections of the mix, for individual tracks. So EQ is the most important to me, in my opinion. Others may disagree with that, but I'm just giving you what I think is most important. And EQ is most important because if I had to choose between EQ or compression, I'm going to go with EQ every time. Because what I can do, I can clear up the mix and have the mix sounding better with just EQ alone without compression. Okay, but don't get me wrong, compression is very important, and we're going to get into compressing with a purpose. Okay, but right now we're just talking about EQ. But I think EQ for me is one of the main, it's the main tool for me. Okay, and if I had a choice, this is what I would go with, EQ every time. So listen to this again and close your eyes and just listen to what's going on. Okay. All right. And I'll be back with with another part of EQing with a purpose.
All right, welcome back, and I hope this was a good video to just give you that overview. I hope I was able to explain myself in that, and like I said, we're just breaking the surface of this. So now that we have a little bit better understanding about what the purpose of the EQ is, we're going to still jump into and we're going to dissect even more about EQ, and so you just have that better understanding of EQ. So please stay tuned for new videos that are going to be coming out, and like I said, we're going to get down and dirty about EQing, so that when we get ready to do our mix, we'll have a better understanding. And that's what's going to make us better engineers, when we understand our equipment from a plug-in to a hardware. We need to really understand the tools that we have so that they can help us in where we're trying to go, and when it comes to help us to meet our end goals when it comes down to mixing. So this has been Sound Advice. My name is Jeff McKenzie. And one more thing. If you haven't, please check out soundadviceforyou.com. That's my website. Go there, visit the website, check it out. I have free music on the website that you can download if you like any of the songs that I have available right now. So please check out Sound Advice, and even if you need my mixing and mastering services, please reach out to me through my website, and we could talk about your next project. So once again, this has been Sound Advice. My name is Jeff McKenzie, and I will see you on the next one.